Dakota Territory's Anndrea Anderson joins us with more details.
Jerry, jury selection began just a few hours ago for the trial of 28-year-old Justin Chauncey.
Jerry, thanks to volunteers, 4 Panhandle counties have qualified to have minimum wage increases appear on the November ballot.
As of 10 o'clock this morning, same-sex couples in the state of Wyoming can now fill out one of these, an application for marriage. Smoke is still billowing out of this home and crews are still working to knock down the flames. As you can see behind me, the derailment was a big one. Union Pacific crews say at least 26 rail cars were involved in the accident.
And finding that perfect potato isn't always an easy task. Sometimes you have to do quite a bit of digging. This exercise is to simulate what would happen if a firefighter got caught in a ceiling collapse. They'd need to learn how to wiggle themselves out. Broken glass and charred remains are all that's left after this abandoned house caught fire over the weekend. But she believes radio frequencies being emitted from smart meters like this one, soon they'll be able to drive by, see this fully constructed house and say, I built that. Sitting down with John Stinner Sr., who's just elected to your first term in the Nebraska legislature.
She was very active. She was very outgoing. She wasn't afraid to jump on anyone's lap and have a big smile.
A big smile Juliet Gertz's family can now only remember through pictures. 2-year-old Juliet was found dead in her crib in July of 2008. Friends and family come to the Sunset Memorial Cemetery on her angelversary every year to lay candles.
Every year we picked up a candle or two.
Pray together and release balloons. But this year's angelversary is different.
This year is kind of special because we're finally going to have a trial for what happened to her.
The mood here tonight is somber, but it's not without hope. Next month, Dustin Chauncey, the man charged in the death of Juliet Gertz, will be heading to trial. Chauncey was the boyfriend of Juliet's mother, Cherise, and police say he was in the home when Juliet was killed and is responsible for her death. Chauncey is charged with intentional child abuse resulting in death. Those charges came through a grand jury indictment.
It was really amazing 2 years ago when we had the grand jury petition, and the support we got from the community was overwhelming.
Community, Hall says, that never gave up hope for little Juliet.
It really makes you feel good. It gives you hope that the community pulls together at times like this to support the families of a tragedy like this.
In Scottsbluff, Anndrea Anderson, Dakota Territory News.
And a heartwarming story out of Broadwater. Our Anndrea Anderson was there to witness the community coming together to help out a local family.
It isn't something you see every day. 5 combines all harvesting the same field. But this isn't just any cornfield. This land belonged to Mike Hall.
My son was killed in an accident in June. It hurt, but we're getting along.
Dale Hall and his family aren't just getting along alone.
The community's been great. You couldn't ask for a better community.
In the past 2 days, dozens of Mike's neighbors, family, and friends came out to help with a daunting task.
Well, we just all come together to harvest Mike's crop. 650
acres of Mike's crop. With the help of neighbors, what would usually take a week took only a matter of hours.
You know, these are all 12-row combines. You know, they have the capability of running about 16 acres an hour through those machines. And so, yeah, it's just pretty amazing.
This group of guys all took time out of their own harvests and used their own equipment to help the Hall family, something they say was more than worth it.
He was always a very giving person. He always helped everybody that he could. It's just nice to help back.
You know, whenever there's a illness or like this, a death in the family, unfortunately, you know, neighbors always kick in and help out, whether it be the ranch people, if there's livestock problems, you know, neighbors are just neighbors out here in Nebraska, and that's just the way it works.
In Broadwater, Anndrea Anderson, Dakota Territory News.
I've always loved animals, so this is one of the things I worked on even as a kid.
Gearing artist Jennifer Burge has a knack for turning pictures into artwork.
I love art, and I like animals and drawing animals and stuff like that.
This holiday season, she's putting her artistic talent to good use.
This enables me to just focus in on one subject that I really like and do some good, you know, for a couple months.
Burge has teamed up with the Panhandle Humane Society, and for every pet portrait she does, she donates a portion of her profits to the shelter.
I mean, how much does this help?
A tremendous amount of help. You know, it's about 50% she gives back to us. So, you know, we love all donations, of course, but this is such a neat thing to do because it is giving back to people who love their pets, and it's beautiful artwork, and it's such a keepsake.
Burge says the Humane Society has a special place in her heart, and she's happy to help them out.
And I've always loved the Humane Society and adopted animals from there, and it's one of my favorite charities to give to. And so I just like to do this at wintertime because it's cold, and there's so many nice animals. And even if you don't do a portrait, if you go to the Humane Society and look at those pets or donate directly to them, it's just all good.
In Gearing, Anndrea Anderson, Coda Territory News.
So if you don't get it done.
This is Coda Territory News at noon.
Good afternoon, I'm Anndrea Anderson, filling in for Jerry DeShong today. State police agencies in both states say that officers made 24 arrests and issued 49 warnings during a joint enforcement operation on Wednesday. The combination of wheelbarrows, horses, ATVs, and runners all on the same dirt track can only mean one thing in Coda Territory: the rubber check race. And a Bridgeport man is $27,000 richer after Treasurer Don Steinberg delivered some unclaimed property yesterday.